Every survival advantage your ancestors left in your DNAs. Explained. Balkan ancestry, built from thousands of years of mixing and survival. Balkan ancestry comes from a part of the world where more civilizations pass through than a busy train station. Over thousands of years, different groups mixed, traded, settled, fought, rebuilt, and blended again. This long history of mixing created one of the most genetically diverse groups on Earth. That diversity shows up strongest in the immune system, especially in genes called HLA genes, which act like your body's security guards. Each version of an HLA gene helps it recognize a different type of germ. Having many varieties is like having a giant keyring that can unlock defenses against lots of different infections. If one germ mutates and slips past one key, another key is usually waiting to stop it. That's why people with Balkan ancestry often have flexible, quick-reacting immune systems that handle many different pathogens. This doesn't mean they never get sick, but when they do, their immune system has a big toolbox to work with. The Balkan region also includes a mix of cold mountains, warm coasts, forests, plains, and everything in between. Over generations, people adapted to these different environments. Skin tones, body shapes, and hair types vary widely because different climates rewarded different traits. Mountain areas favored sturdier bodies and strong lungs. Warmer coastal areas favored lighter builds and sun-resistant skin. Put it all together and Balkan ancestry becomes a biological blend mode, shaped by shifting climates and non-stop migration. But highly mixed gene pools come with a few trade-offs. When so many rare gene variants exist in a population, they can sometimes combine in ways that raise risks for certain health issues. Not for everyone, but for a small group of people. Another trade-off is that strong immune systems can sometimes overreact in modern environments filled with new triggers like pollution, processed foods, and low activity levels. Overall, Balkan ancestry shows how powerful genetic diversity can be. It creates bodies that adapt well, respond quickly, and survive in environments that constantly change. Aboriginal Australian ancestry, the ultimate survival toolkit. Aboriginal Australian ancestry developed in landscapes so extreme that they feel like nature's final exam. Daytime heat could hit levels that made shade feel like a luxury hotel. Nights dropped suddenly into cold desert temperatures, and water was so rare that people treated it like a precious treasure. Over tens of thousands of years at the longest continuous culture on Earth, the human body developed remarkable adaptations. Many Aboriginal groups have long limbs and lean frames. Long limbs help release heat more efficiently, keeping the body cooler in hot weather. A leaner build helps preserve warmth at night when temperatures fall sharply. This combination works like a natural temperature control system that constantly adjusts without any energy cost. Another powerful adaptation is the ability to let body temperature rise a little higher before sweating begins. In most modern environments, sweating early keeps you cool. But in deserts, sweating too soon wastes water. The ability to delay sweating helped ancestors survive long journeys under severe heat without losing precious hydration. Deep skin pigmentation acts like strong, built-in sunscreen. It blocks damaging UV rays and protects DNA from sunlight. The downside is that very dark skin makes vitamin D more slowly, which wasn't a problem in Australia's intense sunlight, but can become an issue in darker, colder countries. Thousands of years of nighttime travel, hunting, and navigation also shaped strong low-light awareness. This wasn't a night vision gene, but a learned skill passed down through generations, sharpening pattern recognition and spatial memory. Trade-offs include a lower fever response, which makes some infections sneakier. But the strengths outweigh the challenges. Aboriginal Australian ancestry shows how humans can become experts at surviving environments that push every biological system to its limits. Tibeto-Burman ancestry, masters of low oxygen. Tibetan and Sherpa ancestry includes one of the most impressive biological upgrades ever discovered: the ability to live easily in extremely thin air high in the Himalayas. At altitudes where oxygen drops to half the level found at sea level, most people get dizzy, breathless, and feel like climbing a simple hill is a heroic quest. But people with this ancestry don't hit these problems nearly as fast. They carry rare gene variants like EPAS1 and EGLN1, which control how the body reacts to low oxygen. Most humans respond by making lots of extra red blood cells, so many that the blood becomes thick and hard to pump. But Tibetan and Sherpa bodies avoid this dangerous response. Instead, their blood stays thin and smooth, and their bodies simply use oxygen more efficiently. Their lungs take deeper breaths naturally, their blood vessels widen slightly, improving oxygen delivery. Some individuals even develop larger chest cavities, giving the lungs more room to expand. This whole system turns high-altitude living from a struggle into a normal daily routine. These adaptations even help during pregnancy by improving oxygen delivery to the baby. This is important because most visitors struggle with altitude sickness, but Tibetan and Sherpa women can safely carry children in these extreme environments. The trade off is small. These oxygen efficient bodies may have slightly lower peak athletic power at sea level, but compared to the advantages at altitude, it's a minor downside. Overall, this ancestry shows human evolution working quickly and effectively when faced with low oxygen, cold wind, and steep mountains. Mediterranean ancestry, built for sunlight and healthy fat. Mediterranean ancestry developed in sunny coastal regions filled with olive trees, fish-rich seas, and some of the oldest farming communities in the world. This environment shaped a set of adaptations that focus on balance, sunlight protection, and strong metabolism. Medium melanin levels protect against strong sunlight while still allowing vitamin D production. This is the biological middle zone, perfect for sunny climates without blocking too much UV. The traditional foods of this region, olives, fish, fruits, nuts, herbs, grains, didn't just shape culture. Over time, they influenced genetics. Many people with Mediterranean ancestry process healthy fats, especially olive oil, more efficiently. This helps clean blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and protect the heart. It's one reason the Mediterranean diet is linked to long life and good health. This ancestry also tends to store fat under the skin rather than around the organs. This type of fat storage is safer and reduces long-term health risks. Traditional lifestyles involved regular movement, farming, fishing, and walking. Over time, these habits work together with local diets to shape metabolism, bone strength, and energy use. Trade-offs include higher lactose intolerance in some groups and the possibility of sunburn in very intense sunlight. But overall, Mediterranean ancestry represents balance, a combination of sun protection, nutrient-rich food adaptation, and a very friendly metabolism. Slavic ancestry, adapted to cold, immune challenges, and long winters. Slavic ancestry developed in regions known for icy winters, dense forests, strong seasonal changes, and frequent waves of disease. These harsh conditions shaped bodies built for cold and immune systems built for quick response. People with Slavic ancestry often have cold-adapted metabolisms that help maintain body heat efficiently. This includes strong insulation under the skin and better circulation in low temperatures. These traits explain why many Slavic cultures have traditions involving cold plunges, ice swimming, and winter activities. Their bodies handle the cold surprisingly well. Immune systems in this ancestry tend to react quickly to viruses, which helped communities survive waves of sickness during long winters. A fast immune response can shorten common infections, especially respiratory ones. However, there are trade-offs. Strong immune reactions can sometimes lead to higher risks of inflammation or autoimmune issues. Cold-adapted metabolisms can also store more energy in modern environments with high-calorie foods. But overall, Slavic ancestry is shaped by toughness, surviving freezing temperatures, seasonal shortages, and high disease pressure. Melanesian and Papuan ancestry, sun-ready, heat-ready, and Denisovan boosted. Melanesian and Papuan ancestry includes some of the strongest adaptations to heat, sunlight, and tropical environments. These populations carry some of the highest Denisovan DNA of any modern group, giving them unique immune advantages. Denisovan-derived genes help the body fight tropical pathogens found in humid rainforests and dense vegetation. These include parasites, bacteria, and viruses that thrive in warm, wet environments. Many people in these ancestries have some of the darkest natural skin pigmentation on Earth. This pigmentation protects from intense UV radiation and prevents nutrient loss caused by sunlight breakdown. It's extremely effective in tropical climates. Sweat response also works efficiently, allowing the body to cool down without overheating. This is essential in regions with high temperatures and humidity. One fascinating feature is the independent evolution of blonde hair in some Melanesian populations. This mutation is not related to European blonde hair. It evolved separately, proving that human evolution can reach the same result in different ways. Trade-offs include slower vitamin D production in low sunlight and difficulty adjusting to modern diets. But overall, these adaptations show how genetics respond to rainforest heat, sunlight, and disease challenges. Basque ancestry, one of Europe's most ancient lineages. Basque ancestry comes from a population that remained genetically stable and isolated for thousands of years. This isolation allowed their gene pool to stay consistent over long periods, reducing the spread of harmful mutations. Because of this, many Basque populations show lower rates of certain hereditary diseases. High frequencies of blood type O and Rh negative factors are well known features of Basque genetics. Their long term stability also resulted in strong physical endurance, healthy development, and consistent traits across generations. The trade off is that low mixing can amplify rare, harmful mutations that do exist. Also, because their immune systems became adapted to a limited set of pathogens, they may have fewer defenses against completely unfamiliar diseases. Still, Basque ancestry represents an ancient, steady lineage built around continuity, mountain living, and strong health resilience. Southern African Bantu associated ancestry, the strongest malaria defenses in human history. Southern African ancestry includes some of the most powerful malaria-resistant traits ever discovered. In regions where malaria was common, people developed multiple layers of protection at the genetic level. One adaptation is the sickle cell trait, which changes the shape of red blood cells in a way that interrupts the malaria parasite's life cycle. Another adaptation is G6PD variation, which creates conditions inside red blood cells that the parasite struggles to survive in. Additional hemoglobin changes slow down parasite growth even more. Together, these adaptations create a strong defense system that helped protect children and adults in malaria-heavy regions for thousands of years. There are trade-offs. Inheriting two copies of the sickle cell gene can cause serious illness, and G6PD deficiency can lead to strong reactions to certain foods or medicines. But when viewed in the original environment, these traits represent one of evolution's most impressive solutions to a deadly threat. Your genetic ancestry carries hidden advantages shaped by thousands of years of survival, environment, and human adaptation. Understanding these traits helps you see how your body works and why certain strengths or sensitivities show up today. If you enjoyed learning about your hidden biological toolkit, make sure to subscribe for more videos that explain the science behind your body in simple, entertaining ways.